Alright, so as you can probably tell from the title of this video, I bought myself a new little toy to play with. I can't exactly tell you why I bought it. I just saw some people using it online and I thought that looks like fun. So here we go. This is the Numark DJ2GO2 Touch. Bit of a long-winded name, but what can you do? Anyway, so what this is just a really tiny Serato DJ controller, and it's also super cheap. So I think in the UK it is £70, in the US it is $80, and here in Canada it is $100. Now this little guy is almost exactly the same as its predecessor, the DJ2GO2, but with this what they've done is added touch sensitive platters. So now if you want to cue up a record or do some teeny tiny scratches, you can do so while the track is playing, while previously you had to do that while the track was paused. Now, as to who this controller is aimed at, I think Mojax at DJCity said it best. This kind of thing would be great for professional DJs, touring DJs, something that they can just use in hotel rooms or on planes to set up their music, to try out different blends. This would also be good for people just getting into DJing who want to try it out but don't want to spend too much money. But if you are just getting into DJing and if scratching is a priority to you, then this probably isn't the guy to learn on. You might want to spend a bit more cash on a more expensive controller, or just get yourself a portable turntable like the PTO1 and buy yourself some records. Alright, but I'm super excited to open this thing up, so let's switch the camera around and get to that. Alright, so the packaging is pretty cool, gives me that kind of Apple vibe to it. Let's see what's inside. So we got some stickers, a download for Serato. It comes with Serato DJ Lite, but does work with Serato DJ Pro. We got some cables. So one 3.5mm to RCA cable, and then a mini USB to power the thing. And lastly, the controller itself. Alright, so here's the unit itself. Now, even though it does feel quite plasticky, the buttons are a bit clicky, it actually feels pretty good. Awesome, well, let's get this thing hooked up. Alright, voiceover kit here. Now, the first thing I did was chuck on a mix by the 45 King, just a compilation of breakbeats, and I wanted to see how easy it was to beat juggle. Now, I'm not the best at juggling to begin with, so don't judge my skills too harshly, but what I found was, for really basic beat juggling, this tiny controller is perfectly usable. Now, if you wanted to do anything more complicated than this, I think you would be running into some issues, but that's simply because of the size of the jog wheels. They're just way too small to pull off any complex moves. But other than that, I was pleasantly surprised with how much fun you could have on this tiny controller. Now, the next thing I wanted to do, which was by far the more important aspect to me, was test out scratching on this thing. Now, for what it is, the controller itself is actually really good. I mean, for the money you're paying for it, you can't expect anything amazing, but as far as bang for buck, this thing is doing really well. But like I said, the jog wheels are really, really tiny, and the crossfader isn't the fastest thing I've used. So I like to think of it like this: if you are an amazing scratch DJ, you're probably going to be slightly less amazing on this thing. And for a novice scratch DJ, I really don't think you're going to be able to up your game using this controller. But again, with all of its shortcomings, it's actually a really fun controller to use. Now, off camera, I did try doing some mixing, just blending some dubstep tracks together, and for me, the one thing that is really missing is some kind of EQ section. Now, if you're going to rely on the sync buttons, you could easily remap the pitch faders to control a high pass, low pass combo filter. But as I like to manually beat match, what I ended up doing was remapping the sync button to turn on a high pass filter. And keep in mind that for any MIDI remapping, you'll need to own the full version of Serato DJ Pro, which for me that costed an extra $129. So at the end of the day, for me, this controller is a bit of a mixed bag. I personally am having a lot of fun using it, but I'm not sure if or who I would recommend this controller to. And I know this hasn't been a very in-depth review of the unit, so if you are looking for something more in-depth than this, I'll leave a link in the description to the DJCity review, and you can head over there to get all of the information that I missed out in this video. Alright, well I think that's enough from me, and I will catch you guys in the next one.